Hello and welcome. My name is Tim McCracken, founder of Crypto Academy World. And on today's Crypto Insight, I'm going to share something with you from Paul Barron, something that we never ever would have seen or thought about would ever happen in cryptocurrency, especially for those that have been around since 2016. Remember Warren Buffett, the world's most famous investor, came out with that saying Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is rat poison squared. Well, guess what? Warren's coming around. What I'm about to share with you now is an awesome broadcast by Paul Barron. He has got an incredibly good network. We've actually done a rating on Paul's network, and we do recommend that you subscribe to him because he has great quality insights and great value. So without further ado, let's go and see what Warren Buffett's up to now.
Avalanche ecosystems and things are moving, and Warren Buffett might be involved. My name is Paul Barron. Welcome back to Tech Path. Let's dive in. I do want to thank our sponsor, and that is Coinbase. Jump over to Coinbase.com. You guys can earn $50 when you buy $50 in crypto. So it's a great place for you to get started. And of course, use our link down below. That's where you're going to be able to get the special offer. All right, so let's first start off with this. Remember, Ripple has had a long alliance with SBI, which is a company in Japan that has kind of created this consortium. If you look at the list of banks within it, one that I want to focus on today is this one right there, Sumitomo Mitsui Trust Bank. And I want to jump over to this first article. Now, this is their CEO. This guy passed away last year, 65. And then we got a new CEO that came in to the organization. And this guy is looking to re-strengthening Japan's business, but also a new strategy going forward. Take a look at this clip.
In 10 years, Shanghai will be where tradition blends seamlessly with innovation, an innovative city of technology and finance, with the power of science and technology.
All right, so you saw his vision there, and part of this vision is where this banking giant is going to be moving. And one of the key things right here is Japan's banking giant SMBC plans a stablecoin launch next year. And guess what, guys? Right there, Sumitomo, parent company of Japan's second largest bank, SMBC, now stepping into the stablecoin space. The bank is collaborating with Labs, that's Avalanche for you guys that are brand new to crypto, and their blockchain infrastructure, and of course, Fireblocks, and this is going to be for token management. So basically what you're talking about is an Avalanche stable token in the largest bank organization within Japan. All of that plays into an investment that has been brewing, and that is this right here, because Sumitomo also took a 14% stake in SBI. Remember that if they're aligned with Avalanche, then it's very possible that maybe Avalanche could also be incorporated into SBI as well. Remember, SBI and Ripple have pretty much been lockstep. Now you take that data and you also look at where the trends are going, because people now see this market as one of the biggest markets out there for growth. And what you have to do is follow Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, of course, increases his stake in Ripple partner Sumitomo for him. So again, he sees this on the forefront of where the Japanese banking system could be a huge boom. Take a look at this next clip.
So I started buying all five largest trading companies, somewhere over 5% of each company, and we were buying identical amounts. And we now own 7.4% of each of the companies. It's worked out very well so far, but we'll be in these stocks 10, 20 years. I mean, we weren't buying daddy, they go next week, next month, next year. We have had revelations about each of the companies, and we'll never run out of money. I mean, that they can call us anytime.
All right, let's go to the news release here from Sumitomo and Avalanche. This is them talking about the commercial use of stable coins. Within the memo, they actually go a little deeper, and they're talking about other scenarios where this can be used: international remittances, corporate payments, small value, high frequency transactions. All of that is going to be lower cost for potential payment methods. And the other thing that we're gonna hit on is the tokenization of traditional finances and those RWA assets, which have grown very rapidly. So they are clearly positioning for a digital asset future. The biggest bank organizations within Japan, Buffett sees this, he understands the use of this, Avalanche connected. Now you understand where Buffett and Avalanche are aligned of where this is going. Now, if you look at Avalanche and their RWA and their tokenization, almost every major bank in there, MasterCard's in there, Citibank, you've got Fidelity in there, a whole slew of these. Now you're going to have this group, of course, residing in this as well. Let's take further look into this, because you got to consider on other news, Shrapnel, who is partnering with the Chinese government to launch the first licensed Web3. This is all about IP, and it's an official RWA chain. So how they maybe launched an L1? Okay, so in terms of IP, if you look at right there what Shrapnel is doing, and if you look at the United States, one of the biggest problems has been ticketing. Look what happened right here. Take a look.
So this is an executive order, as he said, that deals with the ticket and selling business. They tried this in some places in Europe.
This was truly an awesome executive order by Donald Trump. Unfortunately, artists and musicians have been exploited for so long. They're now getting protected, which is incredible.
No, well, there's reselling markets, so, yeah. If Ticketmaster's supposed to ticket, if you buy a ticket, go to a show, there are a lot of ways to worse customer.
So based on that executive order, TickSpace is essentially in the right position, because what this means is that all of ticket transactions are going to have to be transparent, simply meaning it's going to be on the blockchain. Blockchain, of course, in this particular case is Avalanche, but we could see others starting to go into this industry as well, because this will change things in a big way for sure. Now, let's not forget that there's also other things that are happening today, and that is all around the TikTok proposal that potentially will get announced, maybe even in the Rose Garden today when they talk about the tariffs. But Trump is going to consider a final TikTok proposal on Wednesday, and of course, potential investors could include Blackstone. Now, this is where it gets interesting, because Blackstone is a new participant here. Let me go over to Blackstone, which is lining up 400 million from, guess who? Sumitomo Mitsui, which is industrial refinancing. The point being, all this connects the dots here for what Sumitomo is doing around tokenized assets. Now, if you connect the dots there on tokenized assets, Blackstone, guess what? Avalanche starts to be the potential there again. So some very cool things going on. Last up here, Warren Buffett makes a sharp U-turn as Berkshire Hathaway discloses almost 893 mil stake in a crypto bank. Now, you guys remember this one. This was Nubank. And remember, Nubank was on Polygon, and they had their SuperNets. The thing launched. It wasn't a great launch. And then eventually Nubank came back in. This is back in September of last year. Said, hey, we're announcing the end of Bitcoin negotiations immediately. They were done. They were out. The potential, though, is where do these banks potentially go? Well, it's likely that we could see more involvement inside, especially if Warren Buffett is involved in. If we look at where these Japanese banks could be going, we could actually have one of these L1s right here. When you go in and look at the growth right here, look at that. The highest ever. I'm going to see if I can zoom in on that for you guys. The highest ever of transactions right here on March 25th. Right there, 374,000 addresses created on L1s. So again, a lot of new L1s being launched on Avalanche, maybe in alignment with what is going on in the market. We're going to continue to cover this because there could be some big news coming very shortly that would be really good for Avalanche. So make sure and subscribe to the show if you're not already. And also, if you're not in the Diamond Circle, get in right now. It's a great place to do additional content. Follow me out there on X, @Barron. We'll catch you next time right here on Tech Back.
So as you can see here, Warren Buffett is now positioning quite significantly into the cryptocurrency market via third parties, i.e. banks. Now, obviously, banks have other assets, so it becomes a blended investment for Warren Buffett. However, what it's showing is that even someone who's so old school is now recognizing the potentiality moving forward of the technology and cryptocurrency, because he just can't stick his head in the sand any longer. And this is great news for the industry. My name is Tim McCracken. I hope you've enjoyed today's insight as much as I have. And if you'd like to see in the details in the description below, when you subscribe, send us a message saying subscribe, and we'll organize you a consultation on how to make money with cryptocurrency at no cost to you. I look forward to seeing and speaking with you very, very soon.